Okay, good day, Dr. Yohan. Nice seeing you and nice having you in the studio. I'm Dr. Love, and today I'm right here with Dr. Yohan. And just straight to the point, I would like to ask him some few questions. Just for the purpose of the our listeners, where do you base? Where are you based?
Abejukulu. At the moment, I live in England.
Okay, that's nice. And I ask that so that our viewers will get to know you better. And I want to know your marital status. How long have you been married?
I have been married for 8 years now.
Wow.
Ongoing.
Wow. So, my first question is, would you say love is more genuine abroad or in Nigeria?
I would say that love is not. How do I say this now? I would say that the genuineness of love is not bound by geography.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say it is more genuine in any particular location. I would say it depends on the people in those locations, because it may appear genuine in Nigeria and may not, and you realize it's not genuine when you move out.
Wow. Okay. So, my next question: do you think Nigerians abroad marry for love or for papers?
One of the things I've learned is never to put like a blanket answer. Of course, there will be or there would be Nigerians who marry for love, but what we see all over social media seem to show us that a lot of people marry for papers, marry for their stay and all of that. Yeah.
Okay. So, why do you think marriages abroad feel faster than marriages in Nigeria?
So simple. So I would say that marriages abroad seem to feel faster because people are trying to fit in a different system that they had used while they lived here when they get there.
Okay.
So most times you have women who have never earned £1 million in their lives.
Okay.
In Nigeria.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm happy for anyone to correct me, but you would hardly find marriages where you had women who were already contributing financially to a large extent in their marriages in Nigeria or in certain parts of Africa have marriages that fail when they move out. So it's usually a mixture of a woman who has never held £1 million in her life, probably full-time housewife or school teacher who was earning 50,000 naira. And then you move into a country where when you earn, you change into naira and it's about 2 million naira. That can get into your head. You have a man who has always been the provider.
Okay.
And you had probably a wife who looked up to you for every single amount of money. So to recharge her phone, to buy certain things in the house, Daddy Ayo, we need to buy Maggie, we need to buy this, and then you have to, take. And then you move into a system where that woman is no longer reliant on you. It becomes like a shocker for many men because they do not have any other form of leadership. For many men, the idea of leadership is money.
Because they can provide.
That they can provide. So the moment the woman can also provide, they lose a sense of identity, a sense of they have nothing else to contribute to this woman.
Yeah.
And then that crisis on both ends begin to speak. A woman who has never, this is not even a woman thing, if you get, because if you find out even in Nigeria, for someone who has never held, one or two people who, for instance, maybe the highest money they've ever held in their life is 200,000.
Yeah, of course.
They become elected into a position as little as councillor or ward chairman or SSA. And that level of power, you see them misbehave, the trick or treats. You never grew into it. You just came. So for someone who has never handled £1 million in their life and the highest amount of money they've handled is 100,000 or 150, and then you are giving them that kind of money, they see themselves as invincible.
Wow. The biggest lie about marriage abroad, one of those lies about marriages abroad,
One of the biggest lies I've seen people say is, don't bring your wife abroad. If a man thinks like that, you are not a leader. Okay? You know the reason you can't bring your wife abroad is because you cheat. You are irresponsible with money. You know that. And that's the reason why you think, and you know a woman can keep up with that. Because in Nigeria, we have the kind of systems where, and it's so annoying. A man cheats and they bring the family of the wife, tells the wife to come and kneel down and beg him. And the man is sitting like this. And the woman is begging him and says, sorry, babe, I know I'm the one that caused it. So a man with that kind of mentality goes abroad and he knows you've maltreated that woman. You've made her feel less of herself.
So when she gets abroad, this payback.
Oh, you know. So, excuse me. When I hear men talk like that, it just shows how irresponsible they are.
Oh.
And they are unwilling to change.
Oh.
It's as simple as that.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this personal question. What's the biggest struggle you have in your marriage abroad?
Family time.
Okay, tell us about it.
That has almost ruined my marriage at a time, and we had to find ways around it. So you have a husband and wife walking around the clocks, and sometimes at different times.
Okay.
So I could be coming back from work and my wife is leaving for work. And so we hardly had time to spend together. Now, back to Nigeria, we always had time to spend together. And then now we're moving to a different system because we're trying to settle down. Now we are having to, and that kind of affected us because, two people who have been very good lovers are now living as strangers, and that kind of affected us until we had to. So at some point, you would have to make certain compromises. And that's what we had to do to help us. We had to restructure our work. I had to leave a certain job just to ensure that our timelines.
Yeah.
And at the moment, there is nothing on heaven and earth you do. Sunday is for my wife.
Wow.
Not even for my kids. So on Sundays, and my wife would try to just eat out after service, go see a movie, do something for fun. We spend that time together. And to be honest, sometimes we don't even have the money to do that. We just stay in bed. Oh, cuddle up.
Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to ask this question. A lot of persons have complained about raising children abroad, especially some level of freedom or rights that these children tend to have. How does that affect you training or bringing up your own children?
Okay, two things. The first one is similar to what we talked about, marriage. I think people need to learn about parenting. So if you try, this is about understanding different climes. If you try a parenting style in Nigeria, you can shout down on a child. And even if it's not right, you get away with it. You can't try that. So people need to first understand that a lot, and we know this, a lot of the parenting styles we have around these climes are wrong.
Wow.
Parenting styles where you shut down kids, I saw a parent recently and talking to the child, and the child was questioning her, and the parents like, you can't talk, don't talk back. I'm talking to you, don't talk back. Oh, why can't the child talk back at you? You're trying to raise an intelligent child. You're trying to raise a child who can question the narratives. And if the child is questioning you, all of a sudden the child is rude. So that's the first challenge. The second challenge, and that's actually my fear. You have a lot of ideologies,
Okay.
LGBTQ, and different ideologies that may not sit with your own values all over the place, and they teach these kids. That was my major fear with my two kids. But I think I'm looking for the right word to use. I had like a calming moment when I began to see kids in my church. It will amaze you that there were certain youths and adults who had lived all their lives abroad. And these guys were well brought up, respectful, polite. And I began to talk to some of their parents. And then I realized that, ooh, you would have to work extra. For many of them, one parent had to stay at home full time to take care of those kids because you have to constantly impacts your values on those kids. When they've taught them rubbish in school and they come home, there has to be somebody at home to remove that rubbish
On the stuff.
all the stuff and replace all the right thing. But that's that. Yeah.
Okay, this question is important because I met a lady on TikTok who told me that for 6 years, no guy ever approached her in the UK, and she's still single. So for singles in the UK, how do you think they can actually connect with or get to meet people and eventually get into a relationship?
Can I say this? If you're a lady, you first need to change your Nigerian mindset. An average Nigerian African lady is looking for a guy who will spend on them. And that is the major reason I have friends who are not married. The major reason why they run away from Nigerian girls abroad.
Oh,
So in Africa, you know how it is here in Nigeria. So
sure.
a Nigerian girl goes abroad, you're earning the same. I mean, you're almost on equal pay with a guy. He's trying to show interest in you and you're already sizing him up. You're trying to make him want to pay your rent and buy you stuff. So that mentality already even just shuts down doors on its own. And then if you don't have that mentality and you're struggling with having suitors or people even just, then maybe you want to become a bit more friendly. Maybe you want to go out more. I understand in certain parts, I mean, Canada, the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, France, and many of these parts of Europe, you have to like work, to pay your bills.
Yeah.
So, but it's finding that balance, try to go out. And unlike Nigeria, where you can be working and someone is fine girl, show now, or someone walks up to you, sexual harassment is such a big thing that you hardly find men walk up to ladies, because if you do that and the lady says you have harassed her. Now there's a difference. I had to learn this. There's a difference between harassment and assault.
Yeah.
What we know is
Assault. Yeah.
but walking to a lady and even just touching her hello can be harassment.
Oh.
Is harassment. I take that back. What can be?
Okay.
Is harassment. Yes. If you say hi to a lady, for instance, on Instagram or something, and she does not reply, and you keep sending more messages, that is harassment. Not good. That is harassment. So many guys are, scared about that because the law protects, ladies a whole lot. So you want to be in spaces, you want to show availability. And I think that would help.
Okay. Last question for now. For any single planning to travel abroad, what advice would you give to that young person?
Marry first. I see, yeah, for you. But yeah, seriously, the advice is to still stay to your authentic self. Unlearn. I think the challenge a lot of people have, single, married, whatever, is trying to use the same software they run in Nigeria abroad, they can't work. So even as a single person, try to unlearn, relearn. Learn to hold conversations, because when you come to Nigeria, a first date is typically, so where are you from? What does your mother do? What do you like? Do you understand? I press money. The girl is happy. This guy, they press money. So you have to, even a man has to unlearn that, because except to go and do that to if another Nigerian girl, if you go and press money in the first date to a white girl, that is even
A red flag.
do you understand? Because she sees you as pompous, she sees you as empty.
Mm.
Do you understand? So you need to learn, how can you hold a conversation? How can you have jokes that are not insulting?
Mm. Yeah.
How can you joke and it's not harassing, it's not insulting, it's not. So we need to unlearn and relearn certain things. And that would really help singles.
Okay. Would you like to talk about divorce in the UK?
In what context?
Okay. In the okay, I have friends in the UK who, I think I have a case where the guy told me that the lady actually filed for divorce and she's struggling, especially when it comes to child care support. Yeah, he feels that the lady actually filed for divorce because she wanted that child care support for the next 21 years. So in that context, what do you have to say? And how would Nigerians living abroad, especially in the UK, manage that trend?
I'm not going to talk down on the fact that there are actually wicked people, men and women.
Okay.
They're actually wicked women who would actually try to take advantage of the system. But I can assure you, also from my little experiences in talking with people, that most of the times when you hear a lot of men complain about their wives, it's because they're still trying to run their marriages the way they ran them here.
Okay.
So, childcare, for instance, I'm not saying this is peculiar to this family,
Okay.
but many times in Nigeria, you have a woman who wakes up early in the morning. The man is still sleeping. This happens in many families in Nigeria. So the woman wakes up in the morning. She's the one that prepares the kids, prepares their meals, bathes them, dresses them. And the husband gets up. She fixes a meal for the husband or plans lunch, comes back home, and is the one who fixes everyone's dinner. And then she goes back to bed. And that man is expecting some level of action.
Yeah.
Then you go abroad and you realize that. And the woman is, no, we can't. I mean, in Nigeria, she couldn't complain.
Yeah.
Because even if she went to her mom or her mom-in-law or to her friends,
No, just
now so with the door,
yeah.
you do you understand? Then you move to a place and of course she knows this is not how we do it, but you can't complain because this is how it is. I mean, I'll give you an example. We don't like the Nigeria we are in today.
Okay.
Sure, but there's nothing we can do. There is nothing.
Yeah. You can't protest. You can't start nothing.
Yes. So we just manage. You manage the force subsidy. You manage the leaders who have refused to be accountable to us, who put them, or maybe we didn't even put them, they put themselves. I don't know. Then you get to another society and you realize that the guy on the street who is homeless can stop his local council leader and ask questions. And that one would be, he has no other option but to stay and demand accountability from someone who put him in power. The guy is homeless. And then you begin to now realize that, oh, so I can exercise these rights. You are at work and you realize that they are asking you to work. So in Nigeria, you realize that 5 o'clock has reached and your boss is telling you cannot go, you have to finish something. There's no one you can complain to because everybody is doing it.
Yeah.
Then you reach abroad and you realize that 5 o'clock, everybody's closing. And the boss who tried to keep someone 1 minute, they call it grievance.
Wow.
Gets a grievance and is sacked. You now realize that, oh, so I can exercise this power. So that's exactly what happens. And when this happens, people, most times the men begin to say, oh, their women are raising wigs. No. They've just realized that they cannot continue in this slavery thing they endure and they call marriage. You as the man, you are not even accountable. When you're in Nigeria, you are going out. Where you they go? Why you they ask me? Then you go abroad and you are trying to do the same thing. And the woman is like, no, I can't take this shit anymore. You have to be accountable. In Nigeria, you can, because of course the woman is not earning a lot or not working, you can remove small money and give her, take for the month. Take for the months. And the woman has no choice but to manage it.
Yeah.
You can't try that abroad.
Oh.
And so I think these are the major causes of divorce many times, especially with African families.
Okay. I've had friends, particularly I had a friend in the UK who asked me to come over and wanted us to build something like a family forum where Nigerians can come together and talk about marriage and, where we can promote our culture as well and prove that a happy marriage is actually possible. For you, going back to the UK, would you like to come up with a community of people to build up where you can talk to yourself and, help promote a peaceful and a happy marriage? Would you want to look into that?
I think in the last 5 years, we've held 5 events, of which we call Couple Connect.
Okay.
Couples Connect, yeah. And we've I think at the moment we're basically just all Nigerians, so it started with my friends coming together, and the last edition I think was in August, if I'd been here, and it was awesome. So couples would come together, we're very vulnerable with each other. One of the things I've learned is you think your husband or your wife, what they are doing is unique. And then you listen to another family and you just realize that, oh, okay, this is not just unique to me. You realize that someone else is also going through, something like that. So yes, that exists. We call it Couples Connect. At the moment, it's the part of England where I live, which is the southwest of England. We do that. Trusting God for us to, expand to other parts.
So if there are families in the UK that want to connect with this platform, how would they be able to do that? Do you have a social media platform?
Yes, the ARC Network. So the arc.network on Instagram at the moment and Facebook, and they can send us a DM, they can follow us and, get up updates.
Okay, so thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.